Okay, I think we are live. There's going to be a little glitches here and there. We're going to make this work. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. This video, this live stream is sponsored by Minisforum. You're going to see a little flag in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen every few minutes. I want to be very transparent that this stream is sponsored by Minisforum, and that's why we're doing today's stream. So hopefully everything looks and sounds okay. We did kind of a test live stream a couple of days ago, and I think everything is okay. We're just going to hang out for a couple of minutes and let things get settled in. For some reason, my ground control, there's that little thing I was talking about in the where the hell is it? It's right there. That's going to pop up every few minutes, just as a reminder that this is in fact sponsored by Minisforum. So hopefully, again, everything looks and sounds okay. I'm still waiting for ground control to catch up. That'll be amazing when that happens. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you all for joining here on a Saturday morning. Of course, I say that it's 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, so it's probably later than that for a good chunk of you. And of course, immediately, Twitch is going to run an ad here in about 3 minutes. Here's what I'm going to do. Pop out Ads Manager. Can I just disable ads today? Man, I'm still trying to learn. Can I disable that? I don't know what that did. It's reduced. Okay, damn it. I was really hoping I could figure out an easy way to disable ads in this stream. Delay ads. I've paused. Damn. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm actually just going to disable ads on YouTube over here. And we're just going to do that because, I don't want to have to try to deal with this. I thought it was going to be fine, but ads should be disabled over on YouTube now. Let me see if I can figure out how to do it over here on Twitch. Ads Manager. It's predictions. Ads Manager. Can I edit? Ads Manager. Okay, ads are turned off on Twitch as well. I don't want to get sidetracked with ads today. I just want us to be able to hang out and have a good time here while we're doing the stream. I'm only getting YouTube over here, I'm only getting Twitch up here. And I have to wonder if it's because I didn't do the update. Can you use the monitor in the background to show the sponsor? I could. I actually could do that if I had thought about it. Like I could go in and I could throw something up there real quick. Let me. Okay, tell you what. Let's just do this. Okay, so we're gonna go to Canva. Oops, darn it. That is not what I meant to type. Canva. Cool. Fine. Whatever. Oh, but am I logged in? Yeah. Okay. We'll call it a thumbnail. Right, and then let's do Minis Forum logo. We can see I already did that. But I'm going to save this image. Is that going to be big enough? I wonder. Yeah, it should be fine. Save image as sponsor. And then we'll do like sponsor. Hopefully you guys can see what's going on there. Wow. Those, I don't like any of those. That's not good. Screw it. Let's just do this. Let's just do something simple. Oh, that's not going to matter anyway. We're going to delete that, and that, and that, and that. And then we're going to drag this up to here, and then we're going to go to downloads, and we're going to grab that, right? Sponsor. Cool. And then we're going to grab this and bring this down, and we're going to drag this up more or less. But then we're going to make it bigger, right? Something like that. I think that looks all right. Let's bring that up to there. Sponsored by, right? We're going to drag this way out. Come on, like so. And then we're going to drag this way out here like that. And then we'll do this, and then we'll bring this up. Maybe we could do something like that. This will be very quick and dirty here. We'll click download, and then we'll do 192.168.0.118. And then we're going to add an asset. There's other stuff in there I should have added in the first place, and I didn't because I suck. Hopefully that's the right one. Cool. Back to assets. Sponsored by. Let's edit this. Let's make this 60 seconds and save and add. And then if all of that worked the way I hope it did, no, let's do one more. Let's do one more. Come on. Work with me here. It should be right there. There it is. Sponsored by Minisforum. Yay. So I can definitely do that. But I also want to make sure that I keep it down here in this bottom left-hand corner, just because. I also want to do, why isn't that? Oh, that's that. Okay. Anywho, that was a quick run through. I wasn't necessarily expecting to do. I'm using the same mic that I have been using for a while. In fact, if I go to here, I'll post, there's that. Let me grab this copy link address. Right here is the full build, including the microphone that I'm using. It's actually a blog post that I've got over here on my website. This went live right as this video or this live stream went live. That was very much planned. So it's going to have a full breakdown of everything that we're going to be talking about in this live stream. I'm probably going to miss some stuff. I'm probably going to skip some stuff. I'm probably going to overlook some stuff. So I wanted to make sure that everything was here so that we would have a good resource to reference later on. Link broken, nothing there. Really? Damn it. Son of a gun. What the hell? It should. Oh, you know what? That makes sense because I changed. Oops, let me do this. I changed the URL and forgot to change it over here. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. Copy link address, tab, desktop, paste that. Really? Really? Did I do the wrong one? Let's do this. I'm not going to show you that because it's got IP addresses in it and whatnot. Edit. Delete. Yeah, why didn't that save? Error updating that. Interesting. Well then, fine. We'll do it this way. Cool. We'll just do it this way. We're going to post it there, and we're going to put it in there. That will get you to this post. I don't know why it's giving me issues on saving that. It is what it is. But yeah, if you want to see all of the different stuff that we're going to be using in this live stream for this build, it's going to be on this blog post right here. That said, I've never actually done a live stream with a build. So things are going to go wrong. I'm going to miss some stuff. And I'm going to do my best to try to not do those things. But you guys have probably been on my streams before and know how they go. That said, Minisforum is sponsoring this video, as I've said a couple of times, and they actually specifically requested that I do this as a live stream. So I thought that was kind of neat. I thought that was great. So I think everything here is good. Break it till you make it. Absolutely. That is kind of the motto here on the channel for the most part. Let me make sure that everything here looks good. I just want to make sure this is fine. So that's fairly close. So I guess the first thing that we should talk about is, I mean, obviously, what we're doing, but I want to talk a little bit about why we're doing it. So I'm doing some different things for this one. Is it this one that I want? Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to switch over. If I can find it. Phone. Cool. All right. So, that's all backwards now. Damn. Anyway, that's my PC build as it currently stands. There's currently a P2000, a Quadro P2000 in there. It was that 2070, but I need that 2070 for the rest of this build. So I put a Quadro in there just to make it work. So that's the PC I'm currently working with. That's a Ryzen 5 2600 with like 32 gigs of RAM, and again, it had that 2070 in it. And I've been wanting to redo this for a while. Hold on, let me do that just so that it's there. So I've been wanting to rebuild this system for a while. In fact, I've made several attempts at it, and I haven't had any success in the grander scheme of things. And something to know about this build, if I just switch over here real quick. Nope, not that one. Top down. That's the one. Everything is still in its, in fact, hey, let's come over here. Hi. Everything in this, all of the hardware that I'm using, for the most part, it hasn't been opened yet. This has still got the original plastic on it. So I don't know how this is going to go. I've done no prep work other than making sure that everything looks pretty on the screen. There were a few people in Discord that helped me with that the other day. I was getting some things kind of laid out on the screen in kind of an aesthetically pleasing way. And so we're just going to kind of, for lack of a better term, we're going to raw dog this and see what happens. So thank you so much to everybody who is here, who has jumped in very early on for this production that I've been kind of prepping for the last week or two. I reached out to Minisforum and asked them, hey, can I review this? And they're like, nope, we don't have any more of those left, but here's some other stuff we can do. And that's what we're going to take a look at today is the UM880. And then I was like, hey, if we're going to do this, can I also have you throw in the DEG1? Again, we'll talk about all these in greater detail later, which is a GPU dock that connects to the mini PC via Oculink. So there's our introduction. Just Alexia has joined us. Thank you so much for that. I apologize. Somebody mentioned we got on the tangent about the website because of the audio. Hopefully it sounds all right. If I need to bring it down, I can. I can probably bring it down a little bit and be fine. You can actually kind of see it in the frame there. Thank you so much to Collins for gifting that sub. That was really nice of you. Appreciate that over there on the Twitch. So I guess with that said, I think everything sounds okay, looks okay. You guys can see me, you guys can hear me. We've kind of made sure that all of our different configurations for what's going to show on the screen look all right. And Collins, dude, you're such a rock star. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you gifting those memberships over on YouTube as well. So I think what we're going to do real quick is we're going to go through kind of well, I tell you what, let's do this. This will be easier, right? So in this picture, you can see all of the different hardware that's going to be part of this, right? We've got the Minisforum UM880 plus Elite Mini. They also provided me with the DEG1, which you can kind of see in this brown box back there in the back. I bought the Silverstone SX500 power supply. I bought 64 gigs of RAM to throw in it, which is way overkill for what I'm going to be doing. I actually bought that RAM for a different project that fell through. But I thought, we're here, we may as well. I've also got a 2 terabyte NVMe drive that we'll throw in there for storage. And like I said, this EVGA RTX 2070 Black was from my existing build. I actually bought that in 2019, and it's been a rock star since I got it. And again, everything is linked in this blog post over on the website that I linked earlier. You can just look up DB Tech Reviews. It'll be the first post on the homepage right there. So that's what we've got going on here. So I guess with that said, let's jump over to the top down, which is right there. And hey, I remembered my knife. So let's open this. I actually have not opened this. This is still in the original packaging. And I think, yeah, these guys do that. So let's dig in and take a look and see what we've got here. Trash goes over there. I really dig that orange. I really like that orange. That's great. Yeah, EVGA, they're not even making video cards anymore, if I remember right. God, that orange is so great. I really like that. I don't mean to harp on it, but it looks so good. All right. Box. So in the box, obviously, paperwork, fairly standard affair there. Nothing to get too excited about. Appreciate the little extra padding, the packaging in there to keep it from bouncing around a whole bunch. That's awesome. I'm going to have to keep looking over here because my ground control app isn't working as effectively as I'd like. Okay, so there's the main affair, but let's pull the rest of this out and see what else is in the accessories. Oh, geez. That didn't open the way I thought it was going to. It's all right. All right, so box over there. Yay. All right, so power supply. Remarkably small compared to some of the power bricks that I have seen in the past. That is really small. It is 19 volts, 6.32 amps at 120.8 watts overall. That is tiny. I am genuinely shocked by how small that is. And of course, we get the other half of the power supply there. We'll deal with that later. Oh, it comes with feet, but it comes with extra feet as well. I've never seen that, but I'm glad to see that because you pull these off enough and then they don't stick anymore. So no, it's nice to have some extra feet there. We get a little mounting bracket if you wanted to mount that to like the back of your monitor on a base mount. You can do that. Put that over there, and then I don't know what this is. Oh, I bet. Wait, what is this? Is this an Oculink cable? Is that what that is? What the heck? I don't know what this is. This goes into an M.2 slot. This may change something later. I don't know. We'll see. M.2. Does anybody have any idea what... Oh, darn it. I did not mean to move that. I was trying to move something else. There we go. I was trying to move this. There we go. Any idea? That's the Oculink adapter. Interesting. Oh, it sure is. Yeah, if we take a look, it's not plugged in, which means the extra storage that I've got here may not be relevant. That's interesting. Well, I tell you what, let's dig into this a little bit and see. I thought that was the Oculink adapter, but I was hoping, honestly, that it wasn't because I didn't want to give up the extra M.2 slot. So anyway, on the front, we get an indicator here, power button, 2 USB. I think these are 3.1, combo jack, reset button, reassessed. You got to get a pin or something to do that. On the sides, lots of ventilation. Kind of dig the aesthetic there. Lots of ventilation on the bottom as well, so that's awesome. I'm gonna bring that in just a little bit. Lots of ventilation on the bottom. I can actually see the fan. Looks like they've got a crucial drive in there. And then on the back, lots of ventilation for the exhaust. 2.5 gig LAN port, HDMI display port, USB 4, that is a multifunction port. So we'd actually run another display off of that if we wanted to. USB 2 ports back here. And then we get this Oculink that is not populated. That, honestly, that makes me a little sad. I was really hoping that we could use that. I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't know if that's actually going to be the case. So let's pop the feet off. I wish they would quit, and I don't just mean these guys. I wish they would quit putting the screws under the feet. It just seems silly to me. There it is. Looking for the screwdriver. Ooh, long screws. Holy cow. All right, long screws. Savag is here. What else am I missing here? That's the Oculink adapter. All right. Or have the holes through the feet. Something, man. I hate having to remove the feet to take this apart, because like when I do these reviews, when I do a standard review, like I will take the feet on and off 3 or 4 times while I have an idea, and I'll look at something and I'll have another idea after I put it back together, and inevitably I will have taken the feet off multiple times. By the time I'm ready for the review, either I'll have been so tired of taking the feet off I won't put them back, or they just won't stick anymore. Wow, that is heavy. Oh, okay, so the entire heat sink is on the bottom. That's why that's so heavy. All right, so again, 32 gigs of RAM. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, just so it's easier for you guys to see. There we go. So again, the heat sink actually attaches to the bottom, and then has a little power plug right here. 32 gigs of RAM. We've got our BIOS battery, our storage, our 1 terabyte of storage is right there. That is a Kingston drive, which I appreciate. Oh, it was Crucial RAM that I saw earlier. And then our M.2 slot, that we have to either pick extra storage or Oculink. And I think for most people, that's not going to be an issue. If I'm being honest, it's not going to be an issue for me either, because whether I'm doing live streams or making video tutorials or whatever the case is, I don't necessarily need a ton of storage here. Just because I record all the footage and then I put it on the NAS behind me, and then I edit, and then it gets deleted from the main system anyway. So maybe this will help me be more efficient about my processes. So I guess while we're here, let's go ahead and just put that Oculink in there. There's really nothing else under here to. Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. So I apologize. So what I actually do appreciate about this, now that I think about it, the CPU fan is on the other side, right? We're not seeing that here, but this actually does have a fan to keep your RAM, your Oculink, or storage, whatever configuration you got. It actually does have an extra fan there that I didn't even consider. So that's awesome. There's going to be some trade-offs, it looks like, and maybe it'll all balance out in the end. The top lid is magnetic, really? Man, you know more about this than I do. Because I've done exactly zero research on this, if I'm being completely honest. I've done exactly zero research, which makes me a bad person, I know. Oh, damn, do I have to go this way to do that? To bend it? Like that's, Yeah, I'll bend that out. There we go. All right, that's not so bad. Man, Alexia is really, really knowledgeable about this mini PC. Although, didn't you say you got the UM890? I feel like I remember you saying something about getting the UM890 in a discussion we had a while back. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't. Anyway, we start designing something with their brain cells and they lose them. Is not the same model you have. Yeah. Okay, well let's do this. Let's just kind of click this back into place. We'll deal with. I want to test this as it stands. I want to get that Oculink in there. No, this is definitely not magnetic. Okay, it is not. Yeah, but I feel like I remember you saying you had the UM890 or something. So anyway, no, I can't. This is not. This top piece does not remove from this unit. But it's a solid little device. I dig it. I really do dig that. I'm not going to put all of this back together just yet. We'll get to that when we get to that. So I guess at this point, it just kind of makes sense to power this on as it stands, just as a standalone unit, so we can do some testing with it, get it set up at least with, get the Windows account created, the local Windows account. Hopefully we're going to try that new method with this. So yeah, we'll go ahead and give this a test here. Okay, so you do have the UM890. All right, cool. Well, that answers that then. Okay, let's get this plugged in. Nice little rubber band. I appreciate that was actually a rubber band instead of a twisty thing. The twist sticks or whatever they're called, twist ties, I guess they're called. It is a neat little system. I agree. And they actually gave me two options. The other one was the Intel version of this, basically. Um, but I went this route. I guess I went this route because I'm going from AMD to, and I guess I considered let's go AMD because the other advantage with the Intel version was that it had 2.5 gig LAN ports. But I knew how I was going to be using it. I didn't feel like 2.5 gig LAN ports made sense for this particular use case. Though if you wanted to get one of these and use it as a router, having 2.5 gig LAN ports would be great, or a firewall, I guess. Having both of those ports would be amazing there. But again, for what I'm using it for, this made more sense for me. So that's why I chose the device that I did. So the other caveat that I do want to make here, I'm just so impressed by how small. Let me zoom back out. Back to where we were. We were right there. That's the power brick, man. I am genuinely blown away by how small that is. So many of them are literally the size of bricks, and this one is not, and that makes me super happy. So the caveat that I started to mention and then backed away from is that for the sake of what we're going to be doing here, all of our testing is going to be done at 1080p. I'm going to be plugging this into my TinyPilot KVM solution via HDMI. So we're not going to be testing this at like 4K 60 or anything like that. This isn't going to be set up for gaming. This is going to be my new tutorial and live streaming rig. Again, because I want to have something much smaller than this beast that I've had over here for the last 6 years. So I wanted to get that out of the way. We're not going to do a whole bunch of like huge, like super stressful testing with this. It is going to be 1080p. I don't remember if it's 30 or 60. We'll take a look at that in a minute. So yeah, I guess we'll set this like this. It's all going to be kind of cattywampus here for a minute. We're going to plug this in over here. This is the stuff for the KVM, HDMI, and USB 2 is what we're plugging in. I've got a system under my desk for that. And that's also going to give me mouse and keyboard control with my mouse and keyboard that I'm going to be using for the rest of this. Hopefully that'll make sense. I never know which camera to look at right now. So I guess let's go ahead and get this plugged in under my desk yet again. All right. All right. So we're all plugged in. We're ready to go. I'm going to switch to my desktop. There we go. And I'm going to do that so that we can come over to here. Again, this is my TinyPilot setup here. Video settings. Yeah, it's going to be 1080p 30. That's what we're dealing with here. That's going to be our testing at this point when we're doing the setup and all of that on here. So let's close this. We're clicked into there. I'm going to power this on. Okay, it lit up. It is doing its thing. Hopefully here in a moment we'll start seeing some flickering here on the screen, and we'll see what happens. There it goes. All right, let's start tapping delete. There it is. Okay, this. I was actually hoping that it would be this BIOS here. View cursor none. That's going to be confusing. And then I also want to do view. I want to do full screen. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Behind my head here on the screen, it just says BBS menu. But anyway, setup. Let's take a look in here. We can see the build date and time was November 5th, 2024. All of this looks great. This does have the AMD Ryzen 7 8845HS with the Radeon 780M graphics. My scroll wheel doesn't work, so we're going to drag all of this over here. Processor speed, 3.8 gigahertz. Total memory, 32 gigs of DDR5 at 5600 megahertz. System language is English, and the system date is April 5th. The time is wrong. It's off by 2 hours. Can I just click that? Oh, I can. Neat. 11 and set. Cool. System time. Done. I really like this BIOS. I think this is great. Trusted computing. So we do have the TPM2 found, which doesn't surprise me. Security device support enabled. This is for enables to okay. Again, my scroll wheel doesn't work. Let's see. Pending operation, platform hierarchy. I never dig too much into any of these settings because I don't really need to do much in here. Like I don't want to set up secure boot. Numlock on. This is all for boot stuff. Great. Back. What else do we have? Oh, no. Okay. Interesting. That's what happens if I click save and exit? Save. I can't just click save and not exit. Sure. Well, neat. Oh, and then it's just going to immediately jump in to our Windows stuff here. Kicking some stuff out from under my feet so I can roll around a little here. You guys don't have to be quiet. Like you guys can chat and whatnot. Like there's been nobody chatting for like the last 7 minutes. Like what's going on, guys? Come on. Do this. Here we go. So it says just a moment. Let's see what it does for us here. We're glued to our screens. That's very nice of you to say. I also want to move some of this other stuff out of the way because it's going to bug me. So I'm going to toss all of this to the back. All right. So let's do this. Let's click. We're going to say yes, English, United States. Now I should be able to do shift. Was this 4, 8, 10? Yes. Okay. Because just focusing on what you're doing. All right, guys, as long as you're engaged, I'm happy. I just, I wanted to make sure that you guys were still here, still doing your thing. What I want to do is come over here to the forum. I actually put a command over here in this the other day. Line hub. What I'm looking at is the Discord server here that has the command that I need. This one right here. There we go. This has the command I need. So I'm just gonna get that out of the way so that I can type in, start space ms-cxh, local only. Cool. Dude, I can't believe that worked so well. Holy crap. That's exactly like Chris Titus Tech said it would work. That's awesome. Heck yeah. Oops. Come on. There we go. Who's going to use this PC? I am. DB Tech. And I'm not going to put a password on it because I don't care right now. When update, right? Yeah, we're gonna see what happens here. Obviously, it's gonna take it a minute to do its thing, right? Like on it, yeah. Geek of all trades says, "Holy cow, it worked!" Huzzah, dude! Right? Like I wasn't sure. I'd never actually done that. That was very much first go, and it worked. I'm shocked. I got to say thanks to Chris Titus Tech for making a video about that the other day. That was really neat. Though I have to wonder how long that's going to work before they change that. There's also a reg edit thing you can do in that same command, but I'm glad I didn't have to do that because I didn't want to. Okay, so accept. No way, dude. Yeah, that bypass works for now. Captain Marcus gave hard hands over in Twitch. Thank you for joining over there. Eat it, Microsoft, right? I can't believe how well that worked. That was bonkers. You know what I didn't do though? I didn't plug in network. I'm going to want this on a wired connection. So let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully, if everything goes correctly, I should hit 2-ish gigs up and down on this. I've got a 3 gig connection to my house, a symmetrical 3 gig fiber connection. And this has a 2.5 gig. So We're going to give this a second. I just plugged in networking. We'll give it a second to see what it does. Do you have a... I mean, I grabbed a Cat 6 cable. I'm pretty sure should be fine. Man, where is it? Holy crap. I don't see where it says. I'm pretty sure it's like 5E or 6. It should be fine. I know you're kidding, but with some of the networking issues I've had recently, yeah. So, what? Oh, sorry. Geek of All Trades said, do you have a preferred deep load script you like to use on a fresh when install? I haven't actually done a deep load script in a long time. I tried Chris Titus Tech's deep load script, and I got too aggressive with it. It borked my last setup. So I haven't done anything with it since then. Let's do this. No, I don't. I start without my data. No, start. No, it's like a clingy X, man. Just like, are you sure? Are you sure? But what about, are you sure? Speedtest.net. No, because that's going to show my IP address. I don't want to do that. Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah, like that's giving me the full 2.5 gig connection that this built-in NIC is capable of. So yeah, no, that's awesome. Really, really happy with that. Colin, let's see. Soldiers 3000 says try Talon for debug script for an easy fresh install 11. Right. Collins recommends Patch My PC's product. Geek of All Trades says, good. Old Edge, the best tool to use to download Chrome or Brave, right? Yeah. Did I screw that up? Did I? Oh, I didn't. Okay, it's fine. Sorry, they're just... Things don't quite line up over here, and I wanted to make sure that wasn't all screwed up. Okay, so our internet works. We're getting the full thing there. I'm super happy with that. The other thing that I like to do initially is go to ninite.com. I've been using this for so long, and it lets me download all of this stuff kind of all at once. I like to have Firefox and Chrome downloaded just because I want Discord on here. Okay, I'm going to do VLC. I like codecs. I also listen to Spotify when I'm out here messing around, not streaming, obviously. I feel like we should do some light gaming just to test it. I mean, because if we're going to do this, we're going to throw the 2070 on it. We may as well, right? So all of that looks good. I'm going to use WinRAR. I know 7-zip is the new thing comparatively, but I've been using WinRAR for so long. I think that's all I really need. I don't think OBS is on here. Is OBS? No. OBS isn't here, so I will have to get that. Although I say that, I'm going to end up using Meld for my live streaming. That's what I'm using right now is Meld. So get your Ninite. This is what I've been doing forever. I've actually considered using Winget. And I really wish... I never heard of it. I'll check it out. But no Notepad++. Why would I use Notepad++ when I've got Dumppad? Come on, man. Do deep loading context. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, Brave is a good browser. I used Brave for a while, and then I had some issues with them on the content creator side of things, where I didn't get paid properly for something, and that kind of put me off. But that's a me thing, not a. I'm not. Brave is great, but I had a personal interaction I didn't like. Oh, huh. Yes. What's funny is I had to look over in my browser window over here. Oh, there it goes. Oh, or is this just way the hell behind? YouTube, my stream over on your YouTube keeps dropping way behind, and I don't know why. I don't know why it does that. Um, so it's installing stuff. I tell you what, let's download Meld. No. Meld streaming. That's really Meld streaming. There we go. Meld Studio. That's the one. This is actually the software I'm using right now. This is how I'm streaming presently. Yeah. So this is what I've been using for live streams for the last couple of months, and I've been really, really digging it. So I think all of that is good. Let's see. Let's minimize this. It's installing Discord and that sort of thing. I'm not going to worry about getting logged into there for right now. Open this in Chrome. Always. There we go. Again, I'm not going to sign into Discord because I can do that. You guys are going to have scanned that and signed me in to some BS account. I know how you are. I'm not going to sign in on that right now either. No, quit, dude. Okay, all that stuff is installed. I'm happy with that. Geek of all trades. Oh yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Collins. Dumppad, I'm a big fan. I actually made a video about it a while back, and kind of their dumb suite, which I was really happy with. Snap, new rabbit hole. Yeah, dude, they've got a whole dumb suite that is just amazing. Yeah, you shared their actual website there, so that's great. Let's see. Oh, you know what? While we're at this, just so we don't have to worry about it later, let's do Windows Update. Windows Update settings. Have you heard about Chocolatey? I have. I installed it once, and then honestly, I never did anything with it. One of the things that I've noticed, because I've installed things like WinGet and Chocolatey, but when I log into my Windows machine, I'm very much in a Windows mindset. So it's like, oh, well, I'll just go here and download this, or I go to the sources for these things. But I really should be more diligent about using Chocolatey or WinGet or something like that, because I know that they're well-maintained repositories of the software that I could use. That I could use to install these applications more easily without having to click next. So anyway, this is going to do its thing. So let me switch over to here. There we go. Let's see, what else do we have? Used it before WinGet. Yeah, I think that was kind of the order of operations that I did there as well. I haven't done much with WinGet. I think I installed it and checked it out, but I didn't ever get to a point where I was actually like proficient with it. Because again, I've been using Windows for so long that when I'm in a Windows environment, my brain just like, go to this website to download the software you need. And I don't know why. I guess it is what it is, right? Oh, hey, JD is over in Twitch. Thanks for hanging out with us over there. Appreciate seeing you there. Playing some 8K solitaire today. Unfortunately, no. Where everything that we're going to be doing today is going to be 1080p 30. WinGet is just included with Windows now. Is it really? Is it? Well, I guess I can. WinGet. It sure is. Holy crap! WinGet list. Wow. I had no idea. Oh shoot! You can't see that. Yeah, I just opened my terminal window. Let's do that again. Oops. Control A. Clear. There we go. No, CLS. There we go. So yeah, I just typed in WinGet and it was there. And then it gives me the other things that I can use to do things. That's awesome. I genuinely didn't realize that it was pre-installed. The grocery list pops up. Chris Lettuce, when you tell us handy for first time Windows setups. Yeah, I need to, like, I really should do that. I will probably do that when I'm not doing this, when I'm not on the live stream, when I'm not actually like fully engaged with you guys, only because I don't want to have a situation where I lose my connection or whatever. I don't want to run that risk. But I will check out Chris Titus Tech again. I did that once and I went too aggressive and I screwed up my install and had to revert. Anyway, so I can also do winget list like so. And wow, I actually need to do like this, and then pipe less. Oh, is that not gonna work? I thought you could do it like a pipe less. Anyway, it's irrelevant. Really, let's do Wingate all update. It didn't like that. Or is it? Or do they want you to do like shorthand? Architecture. Yeah, it didn't like all. Sorry, I'm having to look around another camera I've got over here. Interesting. Sorry, if my camera bounces, the kid is swinging and he bumped the wall. That's what's going on there. Try the pipe and PowerShell. Yeah, I'll have only one. What if I do A? Nope, it doesn't like -A there either. Oh, not on Windows. No worry, it's not a big deal. I'm just honestly shocked that Winget is pre-installed. I don't know why. I guess I just didn't know it was there as an option. Oh, you know what? Oh, that's not going to matter. Dude, I'm dumb. That's what I am. I was like, I don't want to do all this stuff on here because it's going to disconnect. We're not streaming from this computer. We're streaming from that computer. So I don't know why. My brain is so... But quick side note, I saw a neuropsych the other day, and I get my results Monday, so I'll have some answers on why my brain is like it is here in the next very, very soon amount of time. So hopefully things will get better shortly thereafter. Oh, you know what? Let's move this back over here. I'm gonna have to remember to move that. I really should have used my wireless setup for this, but I didn't. Let's see. It's so cool to see the sponsor in the background monitor. Yeah. Try the pipe and PowerShell. We talked about that. The one thing I can say is that how much of a pain Windows 11 can be. It seems they added a lot into Windows to do more than Windows stuff, like Linux, Android, and other stuff than before. Less also doesn't exist by default in PowerShell. I must have been in my Linux mindset when I did the pipe less. That must have been what it was. It's funny. It's funny how our brains do things sometimes. So yeah, that's interesting. More exists, but less doesn't. That's weird. Huh? Well, I guess then, while this is doing its thing, we don't have to just sit here and twiddle our thumbs to wait for it to do what it's going to do. I tell you what. Let's switch over to top down. Yeah, right there. Neat. Okay, and of course I just moved the microphone, so let's move that back over to there. I think that'll work. I think that's good. Let's set these screws aside so that I don't lose them. I'm going to want those later, I'm sure. Okay, so trash goes in there. So the other part of what I want to make sure, there we go. The other part that the Minisforum sent me, I'm touching this, you can't see it. The other thing that they sent me was something that I wanted a long time ago. Is this. This is the DEG1. This is an Oculink to external GPU. So let's, there we go, pop this open. I did a review of a mini PC several months ago that had an Oculink port on it, and I really, really wanted this. I wanted the DEG1 for that, but I wasn't able to get it from the sponsor at the time. But I managed to talk the nice folks at Minisforum into sending me this. with the UM880 that we're looking at right now. So our first accessory here is going to be our Oculink cable. Nice little cable there. Looks good. We'll set that aside. Then we've got our mounting bracket. Or a mounting bracket anyway. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be to hold the power supply that I've got for this whole corner right here. Wrong way, sorry. This whole corner here is like grippy and padded simultaneously. So that's got to be for that. Some thumb screws, we'll definitely want those. Some more styrofoam to go in the trash. Little setup guide, manual thing. Cool. Here is the main event in this box. This again is the Minisforum DEG1. Oh, I hate that sound so much. All right, so this is it, man. That's pretty straightforward. Oh, okay. So on this end, right there, we've got ATX, we've got SFX, we've got those, we've got our Oculink port right there. Our 24-pin is going to go into here. This will provide, I think, up to 75 watts to the PCI Express slot that we've got right there. But this card is going to want more than that. So yeah, that's kind of what's going to happen there. Of course, this will just slot in. Oops, this is going to go there. Oh, neat. Huh. So this slot, like the edge here of the card, just slots into right there to hold that in place. That's kind of neat. Oh, and that's metal. That's cool. All right. So that's it. I wonder, should we take the bottom off? It's only 6 screws and it would only take us a second. Do we want to see what's inside this thing? I'm curious. Are you curious? Oh. You raise a valid point there. Yep, do it. Let's look. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab this plastic, this cardboard box over here so that it's got... Here, I'm just going to kind of stick these haphazardly, not over the screws, so that we can raise that up. You bring up a valid point there. I will say that while it's doing all of this, while it's doing the updates and whatnot, you're right there. I apologize. While it's doing the updates and whatnot, I don't hear it. It is dead silent. And for having 2 fans in it versus 1, I'm impressed. Like I really have to get close to it to hear the fans at all. So super, super happy with how quiet the device is. Screws coming out. Wouldn't be a tech review without taking it apart. I appreciate your way of thinking. I'm genuinely curious about what in here might be serviceable or whatever. I genuinely don't know. This is 100% my first time with an eGPU dock. Oops, there we go. There's nothing there. Oh, wait. Oh. Hey, let's look at this. There are some switches. I'm trying to find the right spot here. There are some switches right here for like debugging, FLLOW start on or off, TGX on or off. That's it. Nothing else in there really. I don't know what I thought I was going to see in there, but there's really not much going on there. And if they didn't want us to look, they wouldn't have put screws there. I agree. Let's see what else. Oh, is that link wrong? Did I screw that up? It seems like something I would do. I will have to fix that here in just a minute. Let me get this put back together, and then we'll fix that link. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I thought I had checked everything, but apparently not. So let's fix that here in a minute. Put this right there. Sound is just fine. Oh yeah, no, there was a few seconds where I wasn't talking. I was just Just looking at the screen. I apologize for confusing anybody. I'm seeing my sound on the screen there, and everybody else is saying sound is fine. So maybe you muted the tab. I don't know. All right, almost there. We're gonna get there here soon, I think. A couple more screws here. All right. So there's that. Let's put this over here. Let's slide that out of the way, and then let me make sure. Let me do this. I'm gonna exit over here. Exit this. Oh, I gotcha. Let's do this. Should be. Where are we? We're over here. Give me just a second here. I'm trying to see. Let's just go over to here to this tab. We're on this stream. We're going to edit this. Now let's see the Minisforum. Let's grab this URL. And then, sorry, I'm just come on. I know you can't see my screen. That's the link that I've got in here for the Minisforum is fine. Like I just copied it from like I just copied this right for the Minisforum, and I opened it in a new incognito window. This is the link that they asked me to use, so there you go. Anyway, let's close this. Let's come back and look at that stupid here. We're going to cancel that. Oculink isn't hot pluggable. I agree. Thank you for that. Got it back. Sound is fine. Okay, good. I agree. Funny enough, I have been looking at that eGPU, right? It very well could be a UK thing. I've only got US stuff in here, so I apologize. Before that time, let's see. All right, cool. So, we can close that. That's fine, and then we can close that. Okay, so this is still installing 24H2, so that's going to take a minute. So I think at this point, let's jump back over to top down, and let's see about getting this power supply installed over here. So I've got that ready when we jump into the rest of this, right? So again, this Silverstone SFXL SX500 power supply I picked up. This part isn't sponsored. I bought this. I think I don't remember if it was Collins or Nighthawk who helped me find this. Gosh, that's a lot of paperwork. Holy cow. We'll set that aside. We've got a mounting bracket here if I need it. I don't think I will. Here's our power supply. 80 plus gold, which is fine. I actually just recently learned that there is an 80 plus white, which I didn't know existed. I didn't know anything about 80 plus white until recently. Had no idea. All right, so I'm going to need the 24 pin, right? And I'm going to need this. And I'm going to need, I think, this is just a single 8 pin. So this ought to work, I think. You know what? I like this one. No. Oh, that's for the CPU. And that's SATA. All right, well, this one it is. Oh, there's some screws. I'll grab those just in case. Yeah, had no idea. We were all discussing it together. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I actually didn't have any idea about there being an 80 plus white. I thought that was interesting. All right, so that's going to go there, right? And then, I don't know. Is that, no, I don't know what, I don't know what this is for. I bet if I read the instructions, I'd find out, but I'm not going to do that. I feel like just those two screws will be fine for what I'm doing here. I'm going to use thumb screws because I like thumb screws. They make me happy. Oh, is it for the GPU? No, I don't know. That's weird. So I'm gonna screw that one in. That works pretty well. And I'm gonna do this like so. I mean, you know, it's fine. Man, I am. This is gonna bug me. I need to know what this is for. This adapter plate thing here. I think I threw the paperwork away. Minisforum, is it this? That's not helpful at all. Top. It fits across the top from the power supply to the GPU. Really? That's interesting. Well, let's, I tell you what, let's get this 24 pin plugged in. And I think you're probably right. That seems unnecessary. Like that big old wad of, holy cow, that was way unnecessary. But now I've got like 4 twist ties for another thing I need to do later. All right, this here, right? Cool. That. And hopefully, come on. Like that, okay. There's, oops, you can't see that, but there's that. That's good. And then, oh, well, it's whatever. It's whatever. I'll make it work. I think all of the PCI cables that I got have multiple ends on them. What's this? So I'm gonna go right here. Maybe. Holy cow, that was really tough to get in there. All right, let's do this. It's going to be hard for you guys to see what I'm doing here, but you know, it's, come on. Oh, that would be helpful. All right. Okay, let's see. Oh. Huh. You're not wrong. I think this is supposed to go here. Maybe. Oh, I can do it that way. I just, yeah, okay, you're right. That's exactly what that's for. Heck yeah. Thank you for the tip on that. I've never actually used one of these. This is 100% my first time doing this. So no, that's amazing to know. Thank you for your insight on that. And then this will go there. Nice. Heck yeah. And then this, I can tuck all of that back out of the way. I can do my cable management later. Once we have verified that everything is going to work. That is kind of a little beast of a unit there. So we've got our SFX Silverstone 500 watt the SX 500 LG for it's an SFXL. We've got our GPU there. We've got our Minisforum DEG1, and then of course we'll have a power cable for that. All right, custom cables to clean it up. Yeah, I might do that at some point. But yeah, I'm super happy with how that looks, except for that I didn't dust out that video card. Now I can see. So let's plug this in right to here. And then I can plug this in down here. Come on. All right. So, oh, yay, I have tea. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm just going to put that right there. Yay for tea. Please run an average. Oh. All right, so that's that. Okay, so we've got this. We agreed that this should be good to go. Dude, that's really solid. Again, I need to do some cable management at some point, but that's not really what we're here for right now. And of course, if I flip it over, and I apologize for that being so close, but that's effectively what it's going to look like. Power supply, obviously here. I can plug in my monitors into that. Oculink will go from here over to the port right there that you can't see because of stuff. And then we won't need that HDMI port in there anyway, right? Because we're going to do everything through the GPU. Outstanding. I'm getting excited. I mean, I've been excited, but now I'm getting really excited. So I'm going to slide this over to here like so, and then I'll slide this over here so that when this is done, we're still waiting on this right here to do its thing. Oh, she remembered. I asked her to put honey in it today because I wasn't sure how long this stream was going to be. And I thought the honey would be a huge help, keeping my throat from getting all scratchy after talking for 3+ hours. So, let's see. Looking good so far. Yep, I agree. Mrs. DB Tech, 100%. So also, I've been chatting with her. I'm actually going to get her set up in Discord so that she can come by and hang out every once in a while. Or if something happens to me, she can let you guys know. Let's see what else. Oh, at least you're using a modular power supply. Imagine it wasn't. Dude, I spent like a day and a half sifting through power supplies because all of them were like 500 watts were also non-modular. And I didn't want that. So luckily, as a group, we found one that would work for me. Let's see. Spaghetti hell, dude, it would be so bad. So no, I'm super happy I was able to find this power supply because I'm super glad that it's modular. That was a big requirement for me. Every time I see T come on, Uncle Iroh from Avatar comes to mind. Dude, I haven't seen Avatar in so long. I should watch that. After restart, it'll have to do the feature update process. That's fine. We'll get it. 120 restarts, right? Yeah. We'll see how that goes. We'll be good. Yeah. Dude, she swears more than I do. She is more vulgar than I am. I think you guys will be just fine hanging out with her. But yeah, no, she's a lot of fun. I think you'll enjoy it, having her there. Yeah, no, she's pretty funny because she will very often unintentionally say the wrong thing, like in the worst possible way, but like not intentionally, not to be rude sometimes. There are stories that I could tell, but this is a sponsored stream, so we're not going to get into that. But Minisforum have some amazing machines. I agree. I've got plans. Like I'm working on my next collaboration with them already. Super excited to have the chance to work with Minisforum. They've been amazing to work with so far. And super excited for that opportunity. So I think let's close this out. Tell you what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to switch over so that you're looking here. I'm going to get logged into Steam so that I can get a couple of games at least kind of started with downloading and whatnot. Just because then we can do some testing. We'll reboot it. We'll reboot the Minisforum, the UM880 Plus Elite Mini, whatever the full lengthy name is. we'll do some initial testing with that, and then we'll shut it down again. We'll get the GPU thing set up with the Oculink, and then we'll do it again. So, all right, it's asking me to sign in. That makes sense. Phone. Oh, my phone's over there. Oh, wait, really? I am definitely really curious about the new NAS they've got coming out. Do this. That should be fine. Copy password. Okay, will this cross copy? Of course not. Of course it won't cross copy. Why would it? Let's do. That's because I'm dumb. Steam. Let's open this. Is this? That's what I thought. And why won't you let me see? Maybe. Oh, okay. Because it doesn't recognize the the numpad over on this side. I actually thought about putting up another LAN cache setup, but the games that I'm going to install here will be the same games that I have on one of my other machines, and because I've got network downloading enabled on my account, whatever I have on that other machine, I can download from there to here. Cool. So I'm not super worried about it. Like, I very rarely play a new game, and the reality is my internet is so fast these days that I'm not super worried about it. Yeah, Steam does LAN sync already. Yeah, and that's what I'll be doing here. I'm gonna put. I tell you what. Just gonna do this. You guys, like, if you want to add me, you can add me. It doesn't mean I'll accept, but I think we should do Cyberpunk. I think we should do that. That should be fine. Yeah. I know. That's fine. And then what else? What else should we do here? Eating a LAN cache in the past, it was more of a hassle than it was rewarding. I wondered about that too, because you've always got to go in there and make sure that it's got all the games that you're going to want, that it pre-downloads them, that it does all of that stuff. What else? Fallout 4. Let's also do Fallout 4. No, I lied. Let's do Watch Dogs 2. I really like that one also. So let's do that. And it's only like 25 gigs, so not a big deal. Look like accept there. Built-in benchmarks. That's a good point. I think, do I have Grand Theft Auto 4? I know GTA 5 does. Oh, nice. That sounds awesome. Just Alexia says, nice. Received ice cream from my roommate. That's a good roommate. I don't really want to install Rockstar games if I don't have to. What else? What other? What is the Lara Croft game? Crap. What is that called? Yeah, but Red Dead Redemption 2 also has. I got to get Rockstar. Tomb Raider. Thank you. Tomb Raider. Rise of the Tomb Raider, right? That's one of the. That one's 8 years old. I mean, that's probably still got built-in benchmarks, right? I would think. I'm pretty sure it does. Install. All right, and accept. And then starting down. Oh, it's. But here, like, is it? Yeah, network 1.1 gigabits per second, peak of 1.7. Yeah, so all of these games are on my other machine. So it's going to go ahead and grab all of this. Tomb Raider does, but does it? But does Rise of the Tomb Raider? It was my question. I know this. I assume it does because it's kind of like a really pretty game that everybody uses for their benchmarking tests. I apologize. That should sound a little better now. Oh man, that's good. So we'll give this a couple more minutes. It doesn't give me an estimate of how long that's going to take. Recently picked up Worms WMD again, and holy cannoli, it's fun to play with friends. I don't know if I ever played that. Um, Worms WMD. That one doesn't ring a bell for me. Oh, it looks cute. 2D artillery turn-based tactics video game developed and published by Team 17. The 19th installment of the Worms series. Holy cow. Released in 2016 for Linux, OS X, PlayStation 4, Microsoft Windows, and Xbox One. That's cool. Huh. Yeah, I never messed with that one, though I should have. It looks like it would be a lot of fun. Let's do that. Yeah. All right. So, well, oops, not this. Let's minimize. We've got Windows within Windows here, and that big update is almost done finally. So we'll give this a minute. It says it does. Outstanding. Thank you for checking. I appreciate that. Hope you get the Minisforum MSA2 when they launch to test it. That would be really neat. Minisforum what was it? The MS-A2. Let's take a look at that one. Whew. Dang. Yeah, that's going to be a beast. Holy crap. 2 months ago. Is this going to have it in here? Collections, new arrival. I don't know. It's going to be in here. There's the MSA1. I'll be curious to see how this is the new arrival. So we'll see. I'm definitely excited about their hardware. It's relatively inexpensive, and it performs really well. I've been really, really happy with that. Oh yeah, that's the A1. Yeah, no, that they just the A2 wasn't listed there. That's what I wanted to see. So we'll give this a second. So yeah, I'll definitely be curious to see how that goes. Because again, like a few years ago, I picked up the HX. I think it was the HX90, or it was the HX90 something. I don't remember the exact model number, but I used it as kind of like my mini PC for out here that worked really, really well. And then I swapped a bunch of hardware around, and it kind of got lost in the mix. And then here a while back, my grandmother needed a new computer, a different computer, I guess is a more appropriate way of putting that. So I sent it to her because it's still a beast of a machine. With I think it had 32 gigs of RAM. It had a terabyte hard drive for the operating system and another terabyte or two that I threw in as an SSD for additional storage. 2.5 gig networking on it. It was such a beast. And so I sent that to her because her computer, even though it was only a couple of years old, was one of those like she went to some box store and was like, hey, I need a computer to do this. So they sold her the least good value that was going to get them the most money and the lowest performance. I don't know if it was deliberate or not, but it was not a good system. Just like opening Windows Explorer would completely max out her hard drive for 30 seconds. It was a garbage system. So I sent her something different. And apparently, I've heard nothing back since she got it set up and working. She sent me a photo of her desktop setup, and I haven't heard anything since. So I'm guessing it's going okay. But I've been a big fan of Minisforum for a long time. So when they reached out a few months ago to do our last collaboration, I was just super, super excited. And And they're like, hey, we've got this other stuff. If there's anything else you want to do, let us know. And I had this idea for this, but it was actually a different unit that I wanted. They're like, no, you can't have that one for reasons, but we can do this or this, which was the two, either the UM880 Pro that I've got now. There was also the Intel version of that. So they've been really easy to work with. I really enjoyed it. Yes, Alexia, she did have a hard drive in it. It was. Yeah, and it was a 5400 RPM 2.5-inch laptop drive is what it came with. It was gross. It was really, really gross. Is the AMD Ryzen 7840HS quite the same as the 8845HS? I think there's a generational difference there. 7745HS versus 8845HS. Oh, 7740. Let me make sure. Let's take a look at the comparison here. Let's see what they have to say here. Single core performance. I mean, they don't look all that different, honestly. Oh wait, this is the wrong comparison. No, it's not. This is fine. But they actually look pretty similar. I mean, overall, based on nanoreview.net. The hard drive might not have been. I agree with what Alexi said here. The hard drive may have been the problem, and an SSD could have saved the PC. I agree with that, except that I also think it had a dual core processor in it, or it was only like a total of 4 threads. It was such an underpowered system when she bought it that it was. I think she got scammed, and it was a bad deal from the ground up. So. And it took up. It was a full like mid-sized ATX case. It was for its size, for the processor in it. The whole thing was just a bad value. So I just sent her something that I knew she wasn't going to have issues with. Something that I set up, that I knew that everything was up to date and configured the way it needed to be. So yeah, same CPU, newer year. Yeah, and like looking at these results. Yeah, like they're very, very close. So I think the biggest difference might be the integrated GPU between them. What are the key differences? Yeah, this one's newer. Like that's really about it seems. So yeah, let's come over to here. So Watch Dogs 2 is installed. Rise of the Tomb Raider is installed, and Cyberpunk is almost installed. It is definitely working on it. Yeah, like Clarence said there, don't forget to leave a like if you're enjoying the stream. Really, actually, you'd be surprised how doing something as simple as just liking the video or clicking the share button, whether you share it or not, clicking the share button will give an interaction as far as YouTube is concerned. So liking and clicking the share button can both really, really help the engagement levels of a video. Let's see. Emilio says I got an MSO1 with 128 gigs of memory on the way. Wow, that's a lot of memory in a little package. I've seen a lot of YouTube PC builders, and they've started saying that they're not going to be doing PC builds, but many PC reviews as desktop PC sales are slowing down. Yeah, with the market the way it is with GPUs right now. It's outrageous. Jay's 2 cents did a video recently about building a PC, and it was sponsored by I think Micro Center or something. And like even like a 5070 was like $1,200. Like, and the 5070 is not. Look, it's better than the 2070 that I've got, but I don't think it's worth $1,200. And because AMD is really going all in, or more in on the AI side of things, they're not focused as much on the consumer side of things, and their prices are up because everybody wants that for their AI stuff. I think the people who just want to game and do creative work, that sort of thing, I think AMD cards are going to be. I think everybody's going to shift AMD because I think NVIDIA has gone a different direction, and that's unfortunate. that 1500 build he made was not a bad looking device, right? No, I agree. It was for it being what it was. It turned out great, but looking at the price of AMD, or sorry, looking at the price of Nvidia cards was disgusting. Like you can't pick up even a card a generation old for a reasonable price anymore, and it's dumb. It's really just dumb. So I think a lot of content creators and gamers they're gonna switch to red because their new cards are reasonably priced. Yeah, Nvidia seems to go all in on AI. Yep, and that's the issue. Right, the 9700 XT GPU with the deal that's unheard of for a 20 gigabyte new card. Dude, you're not wrong. I was genuinely shocked by the deal that was available on that. Now, I think it was part of a bundle deal where you got the motherboard. It was kind of like the motherboard, CPU, and GPU. I think you like if you got those bundle or that bundle, you got $100 off like the CPU and $100 off the GPU or something. I could be wrong on that, um, but yeah, I'm really rooting for AMD these days. And like Thomas said, and Intel will release more entry level GPUs with Battle Mage. Yeah, he got the Mobo CPU RAM bundle. Maybe that's what it was. LTT just did what they're calling a downgrade, where they got two of the guys from their org to downgrade to the Intel 580B cards, I think, for 30 days. I'll be curious to see how that goes. There were definitely some concessions made with gaming resolution and some of the settings, I think, in that first video. But I'll definitely be curious about what it looks like in the long run. Clarence says I'm upgrading from the 3800X to the 5070 XT to a 90. Oh, and okay, I read that wrong. To a 9800X 3D and a 90. Dude, that's going to be a beast. Yeah, so glad you got the 4070 Super when it came out. I bet. I don't blame you at all. I need to find that button. I've had this 2070 since 2019. Like that's like the system that I'm upgrading over here or that I'm swapping out. My wife's system, they were both built in 2019. Um, and so I'm kind of slowly making the transition to newer hardware as I can, um, but yeah, it's been devastating to think about. Oops, you can't see me. It's been devastating to think about upgrades right now when a GPU will cost you more than my car is worth. And I think that's dumb. I just because of the way things have gone, I think it's dumb, and I think it's about to get a whole lot worse here very very soon. Um, so yeah. So anyway, let's switch over to here. If we look at my desktop, it says restart required. All of this looks good. Everything here is done. So we're going to click on restart. So we'll give this a second to do what it's going to do. Oh, oh, upgraded from a 1066 gig. Holy, yeah, that is a big. Yeah. Worlds apart, I believe that. Fun fact: I built my PC in January of 2020, right before the pandemic. Yeah, and nothing. Prices never will go back to comparatively where they were back then. Yeah, great timing in hindsight. Yeah, in 2019 we got a pretty big chunk of a pretty good return on our taxes that year. Um, so I built identical systems for me and my wife, except that we reused our old cases. So like all of the hardware inside was the same, um, but yeah, the cases were different. She's using one of those dual chamber, like the really wide Corsair dual chambered cases, where like the power supply and everything is on one chamber, and the motherboard and GPU and all that is on the other side of the chamber. I bit my tongue. That sucks. Um, and then I've been using this. I think it's a Corsair case. I don't know. I don't remember. Um, but I've just got a little case over here that's been working for me. So Have you seen some of the new B580s that have M.2 slots on them for more storage? No. A GPU that has storage slots? That's crazy. Oh, that makes sense to use extra lanes for the SSD. That makes sense. Um, yeah, I tried to game on my laptop connection to my TV the other day. It has a 1060 in it, and it was struggling with split fiction. That's, yeah. Wow. Your channel is getting close to 100,000 subscribers. That's true. It is. I'm hoping. I'm hoping by my birthday. I I had higher hopes earlier in the year. I think we just hit 92K yesterday, so I'm looking for 8,000 subscribers in the next 4 months, and I think that's unrealistic based on my current growth trajectory. But look, I'm happy. I'm happy the channel continues to grow. I'm stoked that you guys keep joining me for the content that I'm putting out, the live streams. I'm stoked that companies are reaching out to me to talk about their stuff. I've had several developers reach out to me to talk about their self-hosted apps. So I've got some more videos on that coming out soon. We're going to keep doing live streams as often as I can. Post 2 controversial videos, you'll get there. Yeah. Clarence, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate seeing you here. Post 2 controversial videos and you'll get there. Dude, so I've tried that method, and it ended up kind of being a wash. I think the last controversial video I posted was talking about Marquez Brown, the MKBHD, when he talked about the AI pin thing, and then destroyed that company by talking about it. I made a video about that, and I think I picked up a few subscribers from that, but people were like, "We're here to hear you talk about tech, not to hear you talk about drama." So I try not to do that kind of stuff because I value the people that are here. They're here for a reason. They're here to have me talk about self-hosting, home servers, whatever the case is. And even the live stream we're doing today is a bit out of the realm of where we're supposed to be as far as this channel is concerned. But yeah, so it's, this is going to help. I think this is going to help me with some streaming stuff. It's going to kind of help me organize some things a little bit. It's going to help me with some cable management, which sounds dumb, but it's true. So yeah, I'm excited to get this built. And I'm excited that, you guys are here hanging out with me on 2 separate platforms at the same time. Craig says, as a marketing academic, I can tell you that people want to be entertained, not frustrated. I tend to agree with that, except that then we spend a lot of time doom scrolling the most awful stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I see where you're coming from, but I know a lot of people just doom scroll the news, and that's just the worst thing. Organic growth is the best growth, and that's kind of what I've been doing forever. Let me do this. Why I searched, really? Why even? There it is. Oh, interesting. Oops, not that. These guys, desktop. I spend too much time on future projections. Yeah, they're saying by September I should hit 100K. But looking at past growth, it's very much been very linear. There's never been a huge spike in my growth, which I'm fine with. The way I kind of rationalize it to myself, if I'm being honest, is that if I woke up, I've got 92,000 subscribers on the channel right now. If I woke up tomorrow and overnight picked up 8,000 subscribers and it was at 100,000 subscribers tomorrow, I might actually have a panic attack. That's too much too fast that sort of thing. I like the continued, I like the continued steady thing, um, and I think it would cause me issues because it'd be too much too fast. But then, like I say, the following day, week, month, year, if I didn't see that same kind of exponential jump or whatever, I would get out of myself. I would get depressed. I don't do well with huge swings and things. Um, so slow and steady wins the race, I suppose. Um, let's see. Do works on short term, not on long. Yeah. Okay. Best YouTube hack is to say something controversial about an Indian audience. Then you summon all of the Indians all of a sudden farming with all the hate watch. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Long and steady is the way to go. Yeah. Use a strategy for marketers to burn the channel, get the recognition. Yeah. I yeah, I don't want to do anything outlandish that may cause issues. I want to keep doing the best I can to stay true to the channel, to what my audience expects of me, what my partners expect of me. Like, I don't want to. There are certain things I don't want to say or present or whatever, because I want to keep working with Unify. I want to keep working with Asus. I want to keep working with Minisforum. So I don't want to be a controversial presence online. I want to keep a mostly family friendly appearance on here, because it's what has been expected of me from the start. I rarely swear on stream. There was one time I got really angry at somebody who wouldn't let go of something, but I rarely say anything above a PG level in my videos. I try to be as family friendly as possible just to keep things moving in the right direction. So, um, plus with the big swing just seems to attract trolls to mess with. Yeah, I don't like dealing with trolls. I don't enjoy that. Um, I would personally hope for more software Docker videos and less live streams. We'll come back to that in a second. Craig, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you being here. I was angry that day too, so it wasn't just you. Thank you for that. Save that stuff for Patreon, right? So here's the thing. I'm just going to call you Fern, because I will screw up the rest and get demonetized here. So Fern says, I would personally hope for more software Docker videos and less live streams. Things kind of around here for the past year, and I mean in my personal life, for the last year have been kind of hectic, kind of crazy, kind of unpredictable. And a good chunk of it has been out of my control. And it's more or less under control now. In fact, had something kind of cool happen yesterday. Well, we'll get into, but I wasn't able to produce as much content as I wanted. I had to, and because of that, I wanted to have a way to directly interact with my audience, right? And videos are great. Like, I enjoy making videos. I enjoy reviewing Docker containers and that sort of thing. But because I was unable to do the videos I wanted to do the way I wanted to do them, I had to find a way to kind of make that up to my audience. And I know there's a chunk of people that like live streams, and there's a chunk of people that don't. And I'm on both camps, right? I will watch live streams sometimes, depending on the creator who's involved with the topic is. So I'm trying to kind of find that balance. And now that certain things have gotten better behind the scenes, I may have more of an opportunity to do that. But over the past several months, this has kind of been my way of, spending 2 to 3 hours just hanging out and chatting, answering questions, doing research, doing demonstrations live on stream when people have questions about things or whatever, because I can dedicate 2 to 3 hours to do something. Right? Like, I can usually do that pretty safely. A video might take me 3 days to produce. And in the middle of that, something may happen that's going to throw me off. And my demeanor will change. somewhere in between day 1 and day 2, or day 1 and day 3, or whatever the case is, right? And that video won't come out the way I want it to. So I've tried to do like a video and a live stream per week. That's what I originally I wanted to do a video and 2 live streams a week. But that kind of got messy for me as well. So I've been trying to do a video and a live stream every week. And that's just what I've been trying to do for a while. So yeah. Let's see what else we got over here. Good lag between Twitch and YouTube. Refresh YouTube. I've noticed that like sometimes YouTube will get like 30 minutes behind here in my dashboard, and it screws me up. So I can just come over here and click live on here, and it brings it back up to current. So maybe just refresh the YouTube thing, and it should hopefully fix that issue. I was looking forward to the live stream. No, YouTube is ahead of Twitch now. That's weird. That's so weird. Like when I'm looking at my dashboard over here, the Meld Studio app that I use for these live streams, it looks just fine. I don't see any difference is what I'm saying. I'm not saying there isn't. I just say I don't see one. Let's see. Just Alexi says, to be honest, your live streams lift me up and I'm having a week. When you started streaming, I was in the worst state, and your live stream, that's really nice. Thank you. Like that's really nice, Alexi. I appreciate that. Refresh Twitch, it's in sync now. That's so weird. Having a rough week. Sorry to hear that. I hope it gets better. I genuinely do. Just a quick check-in over here so that we can see what's going on. It's working on updates. It's 26% of the way through. I was kind of hoping it would go faster than this, but I appreciate you guys hanging out while it does this. I wanted this to be an authentic thing here, where everything was kind of like new and fresh to me, just kind of going into this blind. I didn't expect that it was going to take quite this long to do the updates, but I guess we'll hang out, let it do its thing. East Coast lag, usually a few seconds off. Yeah, that's fair. That was an extension. Okay. Well, I'm glad this week has been pretty good for you then. I appreciate that. West Coast here lags a little bit too. Yeah. So it's funny how streams can do that just all of a sudden. Like it doesn't seem like anything skipped or was left out, but somehow now it's off by like 30 seconds or something. I've always kind of wondered how that works. Twitch is in sync. Wait, that's we have a new chatter. Mental 6666 says Twitch is in sync. That is their first chat. Well, thank you so much for joining today. Appreciate you being here. That's awesome. Glad to see new faces. Oh, and you're following. Thank you so much. That's really cool. I appreciate you. Let's see. Waiting. It's the Mile High Anomaly, right? If you've never been here, it's being at this elevation is kind of a thing, man. It's just so we can see. It rebooted again, like as part of the update. It's booting back up. It was a quick reboot, so obviously it's part of the update. We're gonna give it a minute. It's probably gonna come back at like 30% or something. Dude, I called it. I had no idea it was actually gonna be 30%. That's pretty funny. So this is gonna take a little while. I wish I had been more diligent about doing these updates beforehand, but I wanted the authentic experience. I wanted to kind of go through everything for the first time with you guys on this. Another reboot. What do we have over here? Windows Update Simulator, the best game on Steam. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? Hey, it jumped to 63. Maybe we'll get here sooner than I thought. That'd be neat. I tell you what, while this is all doing its thing, let's do one other thing. We talked briefly about some of this, but now plans have changed a little bit. So let's go while this is still doing its Windows update, let's do this. Go top down so we can see all of this. I'm going to move some of this over to here so it's out of the way. All right, give me that, all of that. Right, okay, we're going to slide that out of the way, and this. Man, those cables just aren't long enough, but that is my fault, not theirs. This will be fine. That'll just sit right there. It's got the feet under it. It can breathe. So initially, like I said, my plan was to put this 2 terabyte drive in there, but that's not going to work because the Oculink port uses that, and that kind of makes me sad. I wish that wasn't the case, but I know there are PCI lane restrictions and whatnot. So that is out, and that makes me sad. The RAM, I may or may not. I haven't really decided if I'm going to put this in. This is the same 5600 speed. It is CL40. I didn't actually look at the speed or the latency on what's in there. This is 64 gigs, though. We'll see about that. So for my main camera, the one that we use for this camera that we're looking at right here is my Panasonic G7 that I use via a capture card. That's a PCI Express capture card thing from Elgato. I'm still going to need that a capture card for the new system here. My plan is to use this. This is a Camlink from Elgato. It's the Camlink 4K. I have had issues in the past where these didn't provide enough power between between the mini PC and the camera, and then my camera would just flicker. So if this doesn't work, and obviously I hope it works, because then I can just plug it in, it'll be fine. If this doesn't work for whatever reason, then I've also got a backup solution, which is this. And okay, so the system rebooted again. Just a quick update. It's up to 85%. So we're waiting on that still. So like I said, if this capture card doesn't work, I picked this up. That is a USB 3 to PCI adapter. And it's also got a power connection on it. So I can power it as necessary via like a SATA cable to 6-pin, or I could probably just plug a 6-pin into that. In fact, probably I could use the other part. Yeah, because this is you can't see it. In fact, this will probably work really well because this is a 6+2. I'm willing to bet that I could just maybe, will that plug in? Yeah, I could just power that way and then find a way to mount this somewhere. I don't know where, but I've got a couple of different capture card options for the camera when I get to that point. So we'll see what happens. I just wanted to give a quick update on that, so we can kind of talk about what other hardware may or may not be going into this build when we get to that point. Oh, let's see. We're enjoying this. At least it's not Windows 10 update simulator. It would be like 90% fail and install the updates. Make you install them again, right? Let's switch over to here because I think this is done. It is outstanding. Hey, it's the best way to show the first user experience with the product. You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. It is an external case and plug it into the USB port. Same thing. Sounds like a 3D print project. I actually did. Yeah. I did. Yeah, I may have to make a thing for this to go into. I may have to reprint this with something to find a better place for it, maybe. But yeah, no, I already kind of had that thought and made sure it would work. So, yeah. So I'm super glad that I've got the 3D printer over here for exactly this. Well, not exactly that. All kinds of stuff, if I'm being honest. But you printed it in light mode because, look, I have black filament, but I had white filament loaded for another project I did a while back, and I didn't feel like swapping it out. So yeah, I printed it in light mode. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, Savog, thank you so much for the donation. That was really nice of you. Thank you so much for that. That's super helpful. Really, really appreciate that. I really do dig that as well. It took like 2 minutes to do, but it really does do it. So no, that's great. Okay, almost. Oh, you can't see. Almost there. We're getting there. Okay, here we are. Yay. Now let's see what happens here. Just take that NVMe drive and use an external case, plug it into the other. I actually do have. I did a review of one of an external case a while back, and I may go that route at some point. Man, I need to do some stuff there. Whew, I really don't like that color scheme. Oh, come on, where did it go? Whoa, did it lock up on me? No, it's just being slow. Let's do this. Let's go to Task Manager. Task Manager, like you mean it. Yeah, remember to fully power down. We're going to do some testing. We're going to do just a couple of quick games here. We're going to spin up Rise of the Tomb Raider just so we can see what the benchmark on that looks like. But what I want to do first is go into Startup Apps. I'm going to disable some stuff just because I don't like certain things to start up automatically. So cool, that is that. Let's make sure there aren't any other updates that we need to do. Let's do Windows Update. Check for updates. Cool, it says you're up to date. Outstanding. Well, then that being the case, I'm going to go to View. I'm going to go to Full Screen. That'll make it a better experience, I suppose. We're going to open this up. I'm going to turn down my audio. I don't want to run the risk of something stupid happening there. I wonder how much of a hit you would take running a Llama over Oculink. That's a good question. I kind of wondered that myself. Like if I were to use this as say a home server, I wonder if I would think there would be like Linux drivers for that. I would think. But again, this is my very, very, very first experience with Oculink, so I don't know what that looks like. I'm genuinely curious about that. So this is installing DirectX. I also need to disable OneDrive from starting up automatically. All right, let's look at options. Okay, full screen. Let's see, VSync. I don't want VSync on. 1920 by 1080, that's fine. Stereoscopic 3D, that's great. FXAA, I can never remember which one of these settings gives the best options. FXAA is okay because we're using the AMD. I think FXAA is the way to go with that. I could be wrong. I've never really been good with remembering the different settings for the different vendors for their processors and that sort of thing. This all says high by default. That's interesting. The one thing I want to do is turn off motion blur. I really, really don't like motion blur. So I'm going to click OK. And then I think if I go into here, oh, I didn't turn on the Steam overlay. I forgot to turn on the Steam overlay. I will say this is loading really, really quickly. I'm genuinely happy with that. Acknowledge, that's fine. Acknowledge, that's fine. I don't care about signing in with that. We're going to skip. Great. I'm not going to do that. I hate having to have multiple launchers for a game, so I don't want to do that. Start benchmark. Let's see what happens. We're going to do this just and see what happens together. I'm genuinely curious about this. Okay, and remember, this is on high. This is 1080p. I really wish I had remembered to turn on the frame counter in Steam. I forgot to do that. I mean, it looks good. I don't have any complaints about how it looks. Obviously, it's high settings. But looks good so far. I'm super stoked about that. And the other thing to keep in mind with what we're seeing on this stream is this is being compressed because it's going through my tiny pilot. This isn't the most ideal way to do this for a visual representation of what's going on here. What we're seeing isn't necessarily the same thing that it's putting out. So because it's getting compressed on the tiny pilot because it's using MJPEG for viewing, and then of course the whatever platform you're watching it on is also compressing it to 720p or whatever. So yeah. This is the 7. It says I'm seeing no stutter on here. Okay, here we go. Peak Mountain 63, an average of 63.36 with a minimum of 30. So there may have been some stutter there that I didn't see. Syria, high of 46, kind of the average of the average of 46. Geothermal Valley average. So overall score 52.19. Yeah, no, the tiny pilot's going to definitely interfere because it only does like 30. I think it caps at 30. I might be able to enable the stun server that's built into it, but I don't know that that's going to make any difference there. I want to do something over here real quick. I'm going to do a snip. I'm going to save that. Come on. Right. Just so I've got something to reference later, right? Yeah, that's fine. Got it. Don't care. Minimize that. Okay. So overall, not bad. 52.19, 52.19 FPS on a mini PC using the iGPU. That's for also, I never heard this. I never heard fans on this. So that's awesome. I'm really, really stoked about that. Outstanding. I'm really, really happy with that. Click OK. Let's do that. All right. So, I felt like 24 on the stream, but it's still impressive with the iGPU. Yeah, and again, it's getting like double compressed between the tiny pilot and whatever platform you're watching this on. I guess in your case, YouTube. We're getting double compressed there, so that sucks. But it kind of is what it is with regards to that. So I think I'm happy with that. Do you want to quit the game? Yes, I want to quit the game. We're gonna come back to here. I'm gonna go ahead and just shut this down. If I can find my mouse again. I don't know what that was. That was weird. Come on. Wow, mouse got a little weird on me there. There we go. Maybe. We're going to come over to here. We're going to say shut down. Like so. All right. So we're going to shut down on that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to switch back over to top down. Right? Cool. And then once this shuts down, because as it was mentioned in chat and in the instructions for this, the Oculink is not a hot swap feature. So Oculink cable here, right? There we go. Sorry, I'm still not used to looking at this camera. I'm actually using my phone for this camera. And I've got it tied in through OBS, and OBS is using as presenting a virtual camera and so I'm going to unplug this. So this HDMI is going to go over to the GPU here. Oculink, which honestly looks like a miniature DisplayPort cable. Maybe that's what it is, but it has that. Oh, geez, it has kind of that same shape to it. So I'm going to plug that in right there, and then that's going to plug in down there. All right. Now I have to remember, on a power supply, is it the I or the O that's on? I can never remember that part. Is it the I or the O? Is there a power button? Oh, there's a power button over here. Oh, okay. There's a power button. There's a power button right there. I pushed it. Everything turned on. I'm going to go ahead, power that on. Aye, thank you. Appreciate that. That is, and that's moving a lot of air. Those fans are at 100% right there. Hopefully, oh, I wonder. It's not going to give me video out on that because, yeah, there we go. Okay, let's do this real quick. Let me see if it recognizes the hardware. I told that not to turn on. You guys saw me do that, right? Like, that's strange. Man, those fans are loud. Holy cow. Let's go over to device manager. I don't know if you can hear that. Display adapters. Okay, it's not recognizing that. So that means I probably need to get some more drivers. Let's do that real quick. Let's do this so that I don't. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. I don't care. All right. Come on, let go. Thank you. I got a little aggressive there. All right. So DEG1 drivers. That's the store. I would think there'd be like a support or something. Minisforum Prime support. I don't think this is going to do what I want it to do. Oh, maybe. DEG1. Search. There it is. Downloads. Nothing. Weird. Windows. Hello. That's strange. BIOS and firmware, nothing. So that was weird. I don't know what changed there. Now the fans have calmed down. Is it still on? I'm confused. Still on. I can still feel air coming out of that. Did something over here change, I wonder? I feel like I'm missing something. Again, this is literally my first time doing this. I guess we'll do, can we do like a search? Scan for hardware changes? Nothing. Interesting. Getting more coffee. Well, we've got the. Oh, sorry, you guys can't even see that. So we got the DEG plugged in. It's powered on. The fans on the GPU spun up like crazy. But I'm trying to figure out. Try reinstalling the drivers. Do I need? Okay, it didn't recognize. It's not recognizing this at all. I don't know how to get great together. No GPU, tested the same setup. Interesting. So, how to install the DEG1? Okay. Okay, so we've done all of this, right? I agree with all of that. That's good. We did that. Table we can see in terms of great. Everyone's docking. Right, the graphics card will start rotating. After that, you can turn on some, but it doesn't recognize it at all. So that's, did you hard reboot the PC after powering it up? No. Okay, so now that it's plugged in, I guess maybe I just didn't, maybe I wasn't patient enough. So let's reboot this again. Like I turned on the DEG one, and then while it was powering up, maybe I was just impatient. Maybe that's what it was. We'll do a reboot. We're doing a reboot of the Minisforum UM880. Okay, I heard the fans are doing crazy stuff on the GPU again. So we'll give this a second to see what it's going to do. So okay, we're booting there. That all looks really good. Water. All right. Now let's look at our device manager again. Device manager. Okay, here we go. Microsoft Basic Display Adapter. That's good. This is what we wanted to see. So I just needed to reboot. Again, I'm almost 100% sure I told Discord not to start up automatically. Discord disabled. It did it anyway. Update. Dang it. Disabled. OneDrive disabled. Okay, whatever. Okay. This is good. I'm stoked to see this. So what I need to do, I need to come over to here. So what I need to do I can't believe I feel so dirty. I really feel dirty here. I opened Edge. Yeah, okay, Thomas is right. That's what I did wrong. NVIDIA drivers. Sure, why not? Sure, we'll just do it this way. For gamers and creators, that's fine. We'll download this. This should also give me the drivers, I think, when I do the install process. I know Edge isn't awful. It's got Chromium underneath. It's fine. Well, with you being in the professional world, I assume that most of your internal apps probably rely on Edge at this point, because that kind of seems to be the go-to, even though it's on Chromium. Oh, hey, look, I didn't even do anything, and it's like, hey, there's an RTX 2070 there. Not hot swappable at all. That's true. I actually read that when I was doing my initial research on the DEG one, was that it was not hot swappable. That said, I want to see this. Oops, personalized display settings. Okay, so one monitor there, which is true because I'm only plugged into one spot. I'm going to do the studio driver here because I wish I could toggle between them. Screw it. We're going to do this, right? We're going to do this for gamers just out of sheer curiosity, because we did. Do I want to optimize games and creative applications? Sure. Next. I do not want the NVIDIA overlay. I've never liked that. I always turn that off. Next. Cool. All right, so that's that. Now let's get this installed. We've got new drivers here. That's the difference between the Oculink and the USB 4. Yeah. I've been looking for like a docking station, or a dock at a docking station, whatever, that's either USB 4 or Thunderbolt 4. I'd actually like to get two of them. I want to get one for this setup out here, with this Minisforum, but I also want to get one for my laptop setup in the living room, just because like the setup I've got is fine in there. I thought I clicked that. Darn it. I've been wasting everybody's time here. There we go. But yeah, Express is fine. That's whatever. Do that. Um, but on a lot of those docks, it'll be like a USB-C connection to the host. Cool. What speed is it? And it rarely ever says on a lot of the different devices that I've looked at. It just says USB-C to the host. Cool. Is it USB-C 2 or 3 or 4? Is it Thunderbolt? What is it? It doesn't ever say, and that's super frustrating. Yeah, they are kind of expensive. Like the ones, in fact, Collins and I have been going back and forth in Discord for like weeks now, looking for a good USB 4 or Thunderbolt setup, and they're $200 to $300. Some of them are as high as $400. Um, the nice thing about that is that it will actually say Thunderbolt 4 or USB 4, so you're not guessing. And it's that guessing that always keeps me from making a purchase. If I have to guess what the connection is, I'm not going to buy it. And that's super frustrating for me. So let's see. So this is installing. One other thing I want to do real quick, just out of curiosity here. Let's take a look here. This all looks really good. Performance. Nice. Let's change graph to logical processors. Cool. There we go. 8 cores, 16 threads, 1 socket. I mean, and all of this is running silently. Like I can hear my rack over all of this over here. Like I say that now. When the fans on the 2070 were going, that's all I could hear. But while it's just sitting here while it's doing this stuff, I can hear all of this behind me. Like I can hear the rack more than I can hear the stuff right next to me. And that gives me a lot of hope. The other thing I want to do while we're thinking about this, I need to get the Elgato cam software. That's the other thing I need. Elgato Camera Hub. I think that's the one I want. Camera Hub software. That's the one. All right. It's not what I wanted. I clicked the wrong thing. Oh, come on. Don't you. Forgot I'm in a browser. Elgato Camera Hub. Under downloads. Camera Hub. Download. Continue to download. Awesome. Okay, I think I'm good with all of this. Cool, let's run that. And close that. All right. Next. Accept. Next. Install. All right. So this will give me, yes. This will give me the software for the CamLink 4K that I'm hoping to use. I really hope this works. I really, really want it to work. Again, if not, I can print a variation of this and create a little stand to put the PCI capture card on if I need to. I'm just hoping I don't necessarily have to go that route. Cool. So all of this is installed. That's amazing. So I'm going to click, connect your device. All right. Top down. There we go. Right. Okay. Let's see what this says. I'm going to give it a second. I plugged it in. Like you guys can see I plugged it in. I may need to reboot. Like I just installed a bunch of drivers. Oh, there it is. Okay. Hey, that worked. It just took it a second. Okay, Collins, dude, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate seeing you here, as per usual. Always happy to have you here. I hope number 4 wins his sports thing. That should go well. Okay, so we've got all of this. So what I want to do, this is going to be weird. We're going to try something here. Okay, I'm going to do top down, right? So this way you guys can see all of this. Okay, we're happy with that. This camera is not going to do its thing. That's fine. I'm going to bring this over. Oops, it's on the outside, right? Yeah. Now here comes the test. This HDMI cable, oh, I apologize, I'm way close to the mic there. This HDMI cable goes to my camera. I've unplugged my main camera from the PC that we're streaming on. Make sure that there. And we're going to see what happens. And that's what I was afraid of. View desktop. It's not giving me a video signal, even though I've plugged in. So, and like looking, if I switch, you can't see. And of course, I'm not getting a signal there. When I look at my camera, the screen is flickering, and that is exactly what I didn't want it to do. That makes me sad that that's the case. Man. All right. Well, that'll take some troubleshooting offline then. Let's go back. Let's go back to here. Oops, that's where I am. Let's do top down. So yeah, that kind of sucks, and I don't blame Minisforum for this. I genuinely don't. This is an issue I've had across the board. For some reason, I say that. Let me do one more thing. Let's reboot this, right? Let's reboot this. I shouldn't need any additional drivers from Minisforum or AMD. All of that should be in the build for this piece of hardware, for this device. All of that should be there automatically. Like when I look at my device manager, everything is there. Now that said, I did just install the software for the capture card, as well as the GPU. So I think the next logical step here is to go ahead and just reboot all of this, so that we can see if that changes anything to get those drivers loaded up. So I apologize, you're not going to be able to see much there. Actually, you know what? I can do this. Where did it go? I do this. No, that didn't work either. Huh. All right. Well, I tell you what, we're gonna reboot this. I apologize. You'll just have to go a couple of minutes without looking at my face. So I'm gonna click restart. We're gonna give this a second to do its thing. I can't imagine it's gonna take very long. And there goes that. That's good. Everything here is doing the things that it should be doing. Of course, I say that. Let's unplug. I'm going to swap this over to here so that we're plugged in to the GPU over here now. See, HDMI cable. You'll have to trust me. You can kind of see it there. So that's going there. And this, oh, hey, that worked. Brilliant. I was genuinely curious about that. So desktop. All right, neat. That actually worked. I'm stoked about that. So let's go back over here. Just go full screen. Let's try this again just to see. And it's not. It's just not gonna do the thing, I don't think. And that's sort of unfortunate. Because like it recognizes it, right? It does. It recognizes it, but my camera is still back there flickering and not doing the stuff we want it to do. Well, I tell you what, then let's do this. Let's close this software, right? And let's come back to Rise of the Tomb Raider. I mean, maybe, man, what is going on here? Come on. Oh, there it goes. All right. So let's unplug, replug. We'll give this a second to reconnect. One thing I don't like about some mini PCs is that their ports are all upside down. Like I'm looking at the underside of this, when all of the activity, like there's an activity light here, and it all goes underneath because their ports are often upside down. So that's an interesting thing. Yeah, no video signal. It's just not happy with that. So I guess I'll have to do. I will likely then. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. But that's what it's doing. It's not showing me anything, and that's unfortunate. So what I'll have to do when I'm not in the middle of this live stream is probably give this a try. And I would do it now, except that there we go. Except that the capture card that I need to plug into here is what's currently connected inside my PC over here, and that's just not going to work. So you need an external capture device, and that's effectively what this is going to end up becoming when it's all said and done. I'll create a little. I will take this and put some feet under it so it can kind of sit, say here. Then this will sit on top. Then the HD60 will plug into that. And I'll have to figure out something different with my power cable setup here. But not going to be a huge deal. It's just unfortunate that this USB port isn't giving enough power to get the signal from my capture or from my camera. So I tell you what, so I guess let's do this. Let's close this. Let's come back over to here. Desktop. Oh, too far. There we go. Let's close this. Let's open this back up. And then while it's doing that, I don't care about all of this. Genuinely don't care. We're going to do the same settings as before, unless it changed it. Graphics. Like it automatically changed all of that. Like this all went to very high. So apparently it's going to be happy with that. I'm going to click OK. Click play. And then while this is loading, I'm going to plug my camera back in. Right there. We give the camera, there it is. So yeah, now it's working fine there. So start benchmark. Again, I went with default settings on both setups here. So I'll have to figure something out later. This already looks, well, I mean, it went from high to very high. 4 ports, it has plenty of power. So the problem, Doran says, simple idea, connect it to one of the USB 4 ports, it has plenty of power. This only has one USB 4 port, and it's a USB-C, not a USB-A. And the capture card requires a USB-A plug, unfortunately. And I don't have a male A to a female. Sorry, I don't have a male C to a female A. Otherwise, I would go that route. I would try that. But good idea. I would absolutely love to do that if I had the ability to do that. And I don't, unfortunately, because the 2 ports on the back are USB 2.0. So those won't work at all. So it's got the 2 USB ports on the 2 USB 3 ports on the front, 2 USB 2 ports on the back, and a USB 4C on the back, and that's it, unfortunately. Why not a cheap external capture device and connect it to your streaming PC, and add it to your software or something? But yeah, that's the end goal. That's what I plan on doing. Again, with this adapter right here, this cost me $16. Yeah, so there we go. Average FPS of 150.57 and 8961 there. So yeah, super. That's amazing. You don't have a powered USB up? I do. It's one from Sabrent, but it also the connection from it to the PC, I believe, is only USB 2. I can try it, except I can't. I've got other stuff plugged in that's dependent on the stream. Um, More than double. Yeah. So again, I'm gonna. That's why I bought this. That's why I bought this device, because it has its own power plug on it that I can power from the power supply over here. Like I've got all of that. The problem is that the capture card that's going to go in here is currently powering the camera that I'm talking to you via. So I can't really do much about it at this point. It is because in order to swap this out, I would have to switch over to the mini PC to restart the stream, and there would be downtime, like the stream would end, and I don't really want to do that. So that's kind of the conundrum that I'm in right now. I don't have the option to do that. The other thing, well, I will say, I like because of like where this is sitting. Like this is like if I like my arm is like right here. Like I'm super super close to it. Like I can feel the warm air pouring out of the back of it from all of this. So. And again, I'm hearing the GPU more than I'm hearing anything else. So I'm actually pretty okay with that. One other thing I want to do, since we're here, might be a good idea for later setup. That's the goal once I get to that point. Quit game. Quit game. Yes, I would like to quit the game. What I do want to do, though, is I want to do... let's see, we're gonna do full screen on that again. I feel like Cyberpunk also has a test that I can do, like a benchmark or something. Oops, desktop. Sorry, I closed that out and then opened up Cyberpunk. Hopefully, it will pop up here in a second. It's gonna be a. Yep, it does. Awesome. Thank you for confirmation on that. It's so Cyberpunk is loading. I'm definitely curious to see what that's going to do. There it is. Continue without an account. I don't care. Play. We'll just click on play. 2070 will run any game at 1080p. Yeah. I just want to get an idea of what kind of FPS I can expect to get with that, and maybe we'll shut it down and then do kind of another comparison. We'll do kind of a reverse comparison, I guess. We'll do the initial test on the GPU, and then we'll disconnect that and run it through the onboard GPU on the Minisforum. We'll give this a second. It's thinking. Great. God, that looks really good. I mean, it's 1080p, so it should. Yeah, that's fine. So let's see what it does. It's thinking. Cool. Okay. All right. So settings. Oops. Utilities. No. Oh. Dude, what the heck? No. Come on. It won't. View. Full screen. Oh, geez. It's like it's hitting the edge of my screen here, and it won't. And then now I'm at the top of the screen. That's unfortunate, man. Come on. No. What? Escape. Oh, come on. Man, maybe I need to go get my controller because like I can't do anything with this all of a sudden. Like the mouse has just decided to like, now I'm out of the thing again. Dude, come on. This is really dumb. I can't get back to my settings. I'm gonna move my mouse really slowly so that there's no acceleration. This is getting ridiculous. Okay. Okay, we're getting, I think it's, and right there it brought me out because it's, man. No, it's really not great all of a sudden. Like it's fine for certain things, but definitely not this. This is verging on infuriating. Here's what we're gonna do. Screw it. I'm gonna do this. I'm plug it in over here. Just gonna plug in my mouse right there. Okay. Screw it. That's how we're gonna do it. Run a benchmark there. I could have saved myself a lot of time doing. Okay, we're gonna run this benchmark again. It's gonna be 1080p on whatever whatever predetermined setting that it's got here. I guess now that is. All right. Well, that looks pretty good. Actions, view, full screen. So it's doing 40 FPS, 41 FPS, 30. Okay, well, and that was painful. Thank you guys for hanging out with me while we did all of that. Yeah, I don't have one available at the moment because I thought I was going to be able to do everything this way, and I was wrong. That happens sometimes. Again, I'll need to see what settings it defaulted to here. It's a little stuttery. I'll be curious to see what, I mean, obviously 38, but I don't know what video settings. I didn't check the video settings before I started this benchmark. I should have done better there. Yeah. Oops. Jeez. That was with ray tracing on. Dang it. Okay. I don't feel so bad about those numbers because that was with ray tracing on. Okay. Let's try that again without ray tracing because I don't use ray tracing. I don't like it. It just seems super, super unnecessary to me. Come on. Okay. Settings. Ray tracing. Oh, this is a quick preset. Let's just do that. AMD FX. No. Can I? DLSS for resolution scaling. I don't really feel like I need resolution scaling since I'm only doing that. I'm not going to do that. Texture quality high, ray tracing off, color density medium, field of view, motion blur. I don't like motion blur, so I've got that turned off. Okay, everything else is set to high. Okay, let's just do this. Let's click apply. And then let's run this benchmark. Again, I didn't see that ray tracing was on. What? Any unsaved? Yeah, I saved. So hold on, let's make sure. Resolution scaling frame, ray trace. Okay, fine. Yeah, that's all fine. Let's do this and then confirm. Let's see what we get with this setting. This should be fine. 1080p on a 2070 should be golden there. So we were getting what, like 35 to 45. This already looks way faster. Yeah, there's 60. We're in our 60s there. Yeah, this is already considerably better. Yeah, that is considerably better because I turned ray tracing off. Go figure. 70, 84, 82, 86. Yeah. Um, I think this would be very, very playable on high settings on a mini PC. Yeah, average FPS 69.67 minimum. Number of frames. Yeah, that all looks really good. I think overall I'm pretty happy with that. Again, the likelihood of me actually gaming on this is pretty slim. In fact, the reality is I probably don't need the eGPU and the 2070 for live streaming. Like if I'm being completely honest here. Um, but yeah, like I am. Yeah, like I could tweak those settings a little bit and get a higher min max kind of thing set up. I think it looked good. Again, what we were seeing there was compressed twice, unfortunately, because of the KVM that I'm using. It's a KVM over IP. It's what I have available to me at the moment, so that's what I'm using. And yeah, I think it gave us at least a general idea of what that would look like. And overall, I think I'm pretty happy with that. I think once I get the other capture card set up in there, it should be good to go. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think it's just going to be a matter of, just kind of reconfiguring some things and kind of going from there. So overall, I think I'm happy. Let's do exit to main menu and then confirm. Yeah, it looks great. Let's see here. Come on. Come on. Wow. Um, let's undo that. That's fine. So, no. Come on, I don't want to do that. Why won't you let me exit? Quit. There. All right. So there we go. There it is. It's all set up. If we bring this back over to here, unplug that. Well, except I'm off. My centering is no good there. That's probably going to be my new streaming rig. It's going to take up considerably less space than my other setup, the one I've currently got. If I flip that around to the back, it's going to take up way less space than that, than this system right here. And I'm sure I'll find another use for this hardware. But yeah, it'll be a much smaller space taking up system than that. And my goal is to probably put it kind of over here under my desk, so they'll have easy access to everything. It should look good. Should be out of the way and whatnot. And I'll be able to kind of clean up all of this cable mess. Obviously off screen. Also less power. Yeah, 100% it'll be less power. The reality is I could probably, if I really wanted to even use less power than that, like I could take the 2070 out of here and plug my Intel Arc Sparkle A310 in, because it's only like a 50 watt TDP card. Again, I'm not going to be doing any gaming or anything. I could probably use this in there and it would look ridiculous in there, but it would probably work just fine. Although I say that, I do have two screens set up. So this is the screen that you guys see, and there's like my camera and whatnot, and then there's the production side of things, with all of the chatting and all of the other stuff there as well. So I will probably keep this card, this configuration, more or less the same, but just figure out a different way to get the to get this plugged in and working, so that I can put where is it? Oh, damn, that was dumb. Anyway, there's a capture card right there that I'll pull out of here and plug in to that, and it should be just fine. So that's the goal, anywho. Of course, all of that said, look, I'm always open to other suggestions because I don't always, in fact, I rarely have all of the answers. So if you guys have other suggestions, I'm all ears, and would love to know what other suggestions you got there. This is constantly a work in progress for me. And luckily now I've got Minisforum supporting what I want to do here. So I'm pretty stoked about all of that. I'm excited to see how this works for a live stream. I just wish that I was able to get this capture card to work there. I just don't think that the USB ports are putting out enough power, and that's unfortunate. But we'll get it sorted out at some point, I'm sure. Any other tests we should do? Anything else we should try? We obviously our internet's good. We got a full 2.5 gig on that. We did some game testing. I mean, everything installed quickly. The games worked the way we wanted them to. I can't really do much with setting up the stream over here without possibly interrupting the stream that we're currently on. So I don't know what else there is to test. I mean, I guess I could shut this down and do that, but we already did some testing on the iGPU. I think it's the UM880 that's in there. So again, everything should be linked. I would say Llama, but yeah, Llama for Windows I don't know about. Yeah, I have never actually done that. The only AI stuff that I do on my Windows setup is let me find it. If my mouse would work with me here, man. It's a program called WinWhisper. Yeah, so I've been using this this application. Of course, it hasn't been updated in 6 months. Yeah, I don't use Copilot. No, I use WinWhisper, and what I use it for is like once I've got a video for the channel edited. Oops, that's the wrong button. So once I've got a video edited, I do that in the other room. But once I've got that video edited, I can then use WinWhisper and any of the language models that are available to it to transcribe my video and create subtitles for the video. And I can use any number of different language models that it has built into it. But then I can actually generate subtitles for my videos. I haven't always been great about that. But when it works really well. Oh, thank you. Oh, orange juice. Thank you. Appreciate it. So I try to use WinWhisper for subtitle generation, and it usually does a really, really good job. Intel has a really good thing for their Copilot stuff, yeah, or for their Intel cards, yeah. The Sparkle card's only got like 4 gigs of RAM on it, so yeah, and it's not a powerful card. It does great at transcoding video, I'll say that. But aside from that, I don't really know that it's going to be good for AI. In fact, I tried it with AI once, and it struggled quite a bit. So I kept the 2070 in the HL15 for Plex and AI, that sort of thing. It's called AI Playground. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't messed with that at all. But yeah, I think overall I'm super happy with this setup, and I'll be more happy once I'm done. Once I'm done figuring that out. I don't know. I may check for another cable. It'll be fine. I'll figure out how I'm going to power this adapter and get something figured out there. I don't, man. I'll have to figure it out. I don't know, but could do it that way. Maybe that might work. Huh. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but yeah. So I think that's it. I think that's it for right now. I may make a follow-up video to this once I got everything complete. Like once I've actually swapped out the old system with the new system, I may make a follow-up video. There's kind of a video series idea I've had where I talk about kind of 4 topics. One would be like my streaming setup. One would be my what I'm hosting in my home lab and my actual rack back here. One would be my new network configuration. I still need to make a video for them about that with the new Unify setup that I've got. And the other would be kind of my daily driver desktop setup. So kind of like 4 different videos in a small series, excuse me, about what I'm using in my day-to-day life for both my home lab, my whole, what does DB Tech use to get through his day with tech? Kind of split up into several different videos. I do have a 3D printer. Yeah, I do. And actually show you. Let me grab my phone so I can switch over to that, and I'll show you what I've got. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to switch to the back of the phone. There it is. All right. So I'm going to bring the microphone over there. I'm going to do my best. So phone, right? Cool. So this is where you guys are, right? This is my desk. This is where we've been. That is the computer that I'm getting ready to replace. And right there is the Creality X1 that I've had for a while. I feel really bad about that. I wanted to make some content about it, but they sent it to me in December of 23. And then I think it was December of 23. And then January of 23, I was hospitalized basically all of January. And then after that, it took me months to fully recover. And by that point, they had released other hardware and made this one kind of irrelevant to create content about. But I've had people mention doing content about 3D printing in the past. The problem is there are so many other 3D printing content creators that know so much more about this than I do. Like I had a couple of Ender 3 style printers over the years from a company, and then I got this, and this just decimated anything I'd had before. So anyway, I don't think I'm a 3D printing guy in the respect of creating content about it. I'll figure something out, but I don't want to get too much off topic here because, like I said, Minisforum is sponsoring this live stream, so I don't want to detract too much from that. That said, I may do another follow-up video, like I said earlier, kind of a 4-part mini series of kind of the stuff that I'm using in my day-to-day life, and I'll do more content about this setup. And let me zoom out on that a little bit. That's as far as I can go. But yeah, I'll do another video once I've got all of this configured the way I want it set up. And I'll kind of have a little battle station here that I can show. And I think that will be a good video. I hope it'll be a good video. But I think that's where this live stream is going to kind of wrap up. I keep forgetting to move that. I really should have done a wireless mic for this. But everything went as well as could be expected. I'm pleased with the results of even using the iGPU. I think the numbers on that were respectable, even for gaming. The reality is I probably don't need the rest of this for the live streaming setup. But if I ever want to come out here and do some gaming, I've got the power to do that now. So super, super happy with that. So I think that's going to wrap this up. Again, thank you guys for hanging out with me for the last, whether you've been here for 3 hours or you just jumped in, thank you so much. I bit my tongue again. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for however long you were here. I really do appreciate you guys humoring me with some of this stuff that's kind of off the cuff, that's not quite as planned as some of my dedicated content is. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah. Thomas said AMD iGPU kind of makes low-end cards obsolete now. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Oakfig, thank you for saying great job. Super appreciate the compliment there. Yeah, I think that's going to be it, guys. I think I'm going to wrap this live stream up so I can shut everything down, swap some parts around, and get everything booted up and make sure it's actually going to work so that I can then figure out what the 3D print is going to look like for this capture card setup. So yeah, anyway, again, thank you for hanging out with me. Super appreciate it. But I guess with that said, I will talk to you guys in the next one. I've got some ideas for some upcoming Docker stuff, and we may do another live stream like Monday or Tuesday to test out the system, but also to talk about the most recent release of the self-host newsletter. So if you're not subscribed, you should be. And I guess I will talk to you guys here again real soon. So have a good one. Hope the rest of your weekend goes well, and I'll talk to you then.